Hello everyone, welcome to this week's video. Today we're going to go over the recent G7 meetings which were held in Evian, France from June 15th to the 17th. This video will concentrate on the American and European relationship. Of course, there are many countries from other regions at the meetings, but that's what we'll be concentrating on. So to set the context of the relationship before the G7 was held, let's look at the recent positive changes and then what were the pre-existing tensions before the G7. So recently, there has been some good news, of course. There has been a deal to open the Strait of Hormuz. Hopefully, it holds. So, and because the Iran war is probably winding down, there is potential for America to help Ukraine more with their war with Russia. So those are the recent positive changes, but of course, the relationship between the Europeans and America have been strained a lot since Trump came to office. So recently, during the Iran war, many European leaders spoke out against the war. And one of the most outspoken leaders was Chancellor Merz of Germany. So pretty much, well, he said many things about the war, but the key elements of what he said were it was an unnecessary war. America had no strategy going in, that the war hurt economies all over the world and especially Europe. And I guess the biggest slap in the face was he said the Iranians humiliated America. So, of course, this did not go down well with Trump. He was furious. So he withdrew 5,000 troops from Germany. And from Trump's perspective, you're kind of killing two birds with one stone. He doesn't like the EU and he doesn't like NATO, so that was his move. And then, of course, before the Iran war, Trump was threatening to take Greenland as an American territory. Then, of course, Trump wants to build a big golden hotel in Greenland. As you can see, I think it fits in well with the local landscape. But that issue is not finished, actually. There are negotiations being held in Washington, D.C. Between Greenland, Denmark, and America. Because if you remember, Greenland is a territory of Denmark. So what America wants there is to be able to put more military assets in Greenland. They want to be able to mine for minerals and potentially drill for oil. Though that's going to be a tough sell because the Greenlanders are very environmentally friendly. And the Americans also want Greenland and Denmark to keep Russia and China out of Greenland. And then, of course, Denmark and Greenland continue to say they will never sell. But yeah, I think in the end, America is going to be allowed to put in more military assets, maybe one or two mining or oil drilling contracts. So that's the context of the relationship before the G7. Um, and to a certain extent, Europe is limited into what they can do. They have to play nice to a certain extent because unlike China, they can't win a full-out trade war with America. But they have been pushing back, and their main pushback against tariffs and Trump's chaos has been against American tech companies. And the kind of phrase that's being bandied about by Europeans is digital sovereignty. So what they've done is they've canceled many software and cloud computing contracts with American companies, and now especially sensitive data like government, military, private data, they're switching over to EU companies. Then some American companies like Amazon and Microsoft tried to build EU friendly branches, but the Europeans are still not buying that software. And furthermore, there have been antitrust suits against some big American tech companies. And in total, billions of dollars, not dollars, euros, billions of euros in fines have been paid. One of the biggest examples is with Apple. Apple had to pay hundreds of millions of euros in fines because the EU found that Apple discriminated against other payment options. They favored the Apple Pay option too much. So let's look specifically at the G7 now, and we'll start with the positives from the G7. So many countries, especially Britain, France, and Italy, will send naval assets to the Strait of Hormuz. They'll be sending minesweepers like the one in this picture. But they'll also send some escort ships to make sure drones and missiles from Iran don't threaten the commercial ships. And President Macron of France invited Trump to dinner at the Palace of Versailles. And for those of you who have been there, it's a very opulent place. And so the easiest way to pander to Trump is to put him in a very opulent setting. So the dinner was successful, and Trump did not leave the G7 early, per usual. Maybe the biggest success was that all countries participating signed a statement giving unwavering support to Ukraine. So America didn't really go into specifics, but America said that they will be giving more support to Ukraine, which is, of course, is a bad sign for Putin and a good sign for Ukraine. Next, let's look at the negatives. So while America did give vague promises to help Ukraine, they could not persuade Trump to get involved in the negotiations to end the war. If you remember, before Trump started his second term, he promised to end the war in Ukraine his first day in office. That obviously didn't happen. So he's, I guess you could say, scared of getting burned again. And Trump also said the Ukraine war has no connection to America, which is laughable. But yeah, it's not surprising. So, of course, democracies defending other democracies against a dictator is always an important thing to do because it sends signals to other countries, dictatorships, aggressive countries. And the most important country that's looking at the Iran-Ukraine war is China. So if Ukraine can stop Russia, retain most of their country, and Russia only gets a little bit of land, I think China would be less likely to invade Taiwan in the near term. So that's why helping Ukraine is so important. And also, it wouldn't be a big, important meeting without a social, awkward situation with Trump and another leader. So Trump said the Prime Minister of Italy, Meloni, begged him for a pic, which is laughable. But in the picture are her exact words that she gave to a reporter after the incident. But to summarize, she said he treats his allies like enemies and some of his enemies like his friends, which is very true. But I was happy. She was very blunt and told it like it was, which I think more leaders need to do with Trump. So overall, I think the G7 was positive. I think it will reduce tensions between the Europeans and America. You have the future naval help from Europeans in the Strait of Hormuz and vague promises to support Ukraine in the future. So I think those outweigh the tensions between Europe and America and the awkward situation between Prime Minister Meloni and Trump. So yeah, that's all I have for you today. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe. If you have any questions or comments, yeah, please use the comments. Yeah, thank you. Bye bye.